Welcome to the Investing Bros. T Shroom is here, ready to deliver some TA and some news. Tim will absolutely be joining me here in just a few minutes, but he was actually on another show, so that looks like it's been running over. But I will be getting a much anticipated text message from Tim saying that he is coming back. HBAR, Polkadot, Ethereum, all getting some updates today. We'll be getting into it. HBAR, far and away, is having the most exciting day of any coin. Maybe you've seen the crypto bubbles. Maybe you haven't. I will show them to you right off the bat. HBAR up 33%. We're going to get into all that and more here in just a minute or two on the other side of the intro. You are watching and listening to the Investing Bros. All right. Well, thank you so much for tuning in. Of course, I am T Shroom. You can find me on Twitter at T Shroom. But you don't care about that, do you? No, you do. And I really appreciate it. But you care way more about your bags, which if they contain HBAR today, you are feeling real good. Look at this chart here, bros. This is quite a move for HBAR. Kind of came out of nowhere. The talk around town has kind of been like, well, what's going on with HBAR? You know, it's something that's stayed in a lot of people's bags, right? It hasn't left. But a lot of folks, are starting to call it kind of a dead project, something that hasn't really caught up any steam recently. Well, all of that changed with a single tweet we'll get to in just a second. But let's take a look here at the daily chart. You can see a very, very large green candle to the upside here, going ahead and having a big jerking motion down here on the ALGO oscillator matrix. You can see money flow jerking positive here, all in the matter of just a few hours. It's really incredible to see. Let's go down to the 1 hour and see just how this played out and what's happening now. You can see it is starting to cool off here, and the oscillator matrix is going ahead and rolling over. The hyperwave is rolling over, and we have a reversal dot above and a reversal dot on the hyperwave. Money flow flat on the 1 hour. But this has been a big bullish move for HBAR, and it's exciting, right? The candlestick's trading well outside of the upper Bollinger Band here on the 1 hour. Let's zoom back out to the 4 hour before we do. The 1 hour histograms are going ahead and plateauing here. The current live histogram on the 1 hour is plateauing ever so slightly high. We just got a live print there. Ever so slightly lower than the previous histogram. So this is indicating, at least in the hour charts, that the buying is slowing down for HBAR, but this is big. It's exciting news. We'll get to it in just a second. I know. I'm kind of delaying a little bit because I want Tim to be here for this news, but let's go out to the 1 day, or we were on the 4 hour. Let's go back to the 4 hour. As you can see here, big jerking histogram to the upside. Nice to see. On ALGO, oscillator matrix, money flow is starting to come back green. Very nice to see. And a very big jerking motion with a green dot as well. Let's throw on, let's turn off the Bollinger Bands because they're not helping us out here too much. Let's turn off the Bollinger Bands, and let's turn on the price action concepts, and let's see. Wow, it wicked right into the premium zone here for ALGO. Couldn't get any more textbook than that. So it wicked right into the premium. Wasn't able to push any higher than that. Let's see. That does correlate with the previous wick high here back in March 26th. Guys, it's all about HBAR right now. HBAR is popping off 33% to the upside. I've seen it as high as, I think 46% to the upside. I think may have been kind of the highs there. It is pretty crazy. Oh no, Richard Lopez said, I sold my HBAR 2 weeks ago. That is unfortunate. Guys, at some point in the episode, I'm going to go ahead and reveal whether or not I have any HBAR. And the answer might surprise you. But keeping a looking here at the charts, we can see that let's go ahead and cycle off. We were at the discount zone. We were at the discount zone for HBAR here on the 4 hour just back in April 13th. So not very long ago at all, just a few days ago. And then we were able to move sideways, starting to see a little bit of a wave higher before we found support here on this block and made a big move through the equilibrium zone, not caring about that at all today. that became a non-issue, the equilibrium zone here from LuxAlgo, and just pushed right on through up to the premium zone and has retraced since then. This retrace is about 8.5%. So if you bought up here, you're now at a loss in HBAR, despite the excitement around it and the news around it. But overall, if you bought it this morning, if you just had a wild hair, or if you're in a text chat with old Larry Fink over at BlackRock, spilling the beans, then you would have potentially had a chance to sell at 50% upside. That is huge. So I said 46. Yeah, this is huge. 50% in one day. Now it's retraced since then, but this is still a very big move to live price, 37% for HBAR. Now, I can't hold you in suspense any longer because you've probably Googled it for yourself by now. Why the heck is HBAR up? Well, it has a lot to do with this tweet. Smash the likes, bros. We like to have fun here. HBAR Foundation is tweeted it out today. We witness RWA history, real world asset history. It's BlackRock's ICS U.S. Treasury Market Money Market Fund, MMF, is tokenized on a Hedera, otherwise known HBAR, the token for Hedera, and then it names these two other operators that have very small Twitter accounts, ArcX, I guess, and then Ownereal. I have never heard of either of these organizations, but they have gotten lumped in here with a very big, very successful and sexy tweet. I'll finish the tweet here. Marking a major milestone in asset management by bringing the world's largest asset manager on chain. If you didn't think that BlackRock was paving the future of crypto in TradFi before today, now you don't have any excuse, right? And look, this says it all right here. What Twitter is recommending here, the relevant people: HBAR Foundation, BlackRock, Hedera. Absolutely. Guys, we are not going to get into these other organizations. This is the ArcX, the next evolution in digital asset trading, and then Onera IO. Onera is the first institutional grade blockchain for digital assets. We're just not going to do a deep dive on what these are, but these are very fascinating, interesting in and of themselves. I don't think either of these have a token, right? I think Hedera is the only one. Let me know in the chat. Am I wrong about that? Are there tokens with these other? I don't even know that they're projects. I think they're probably corporations. And it looks like Hedera is the only token project, the project that has a token or a coin, whatever you want to call it, that is in association with this big move. But overall, it's sending Hedera's price higher. The live price right here, continuing to remain elevated, right? So, there was a chance potentially, right, that this was a fake tweet or, the HBAR Foundation was hacked or something like this. That is not the case. And how do we know that? Because the market is not selling off, right? If it was the case, prices would have come all the way back down and probably started to sell for a loss on the day. So you can discount that. This is real news, and it is big news. So it's exciting, and we're here for it, baby. I texted Tim. I was like, actually getting some real news today. So it's very, very exciting. Crux of Crypto saying, yo, T-Shroom. And let's see what else. Drew P said, sounds like a scam. Wow. Interesting. I don't know that this sounds like a scam to me. This sounds pretty legit. Raphael Bentoncourt said HBAR was 3 billion market cap, now is 4 billion market cap. So seeing quite a bit of movement on the day. Very, very good. Blocky Chan said, I own HBAR. Wow. That's exciting. Today is definitely a big day for those who are holders of HBAR. Very exciting. Let me know. Are you a holder of HBAR? Drop a 1 in the chat if you are. Drop a 2 in the chat if you do not hold any HBAR. And it's okay. It's okay if you don't. In fact, I'm going to take a moment for those who do not own any HBAR, right? This is an excellent time to observe some wisdom from someone who's been in crypto for a little while, myself, right? This is a time to be happy, to be grateful for another project having success, right? And not be jealous and not let your emotions precede your intelligence and rationality. If you do not have any HBAR, do not go selling some other project for a loss just to rotate into HBAR, right? That's wisdom, right? Why? But you could say, well, T-Shroom, if I'm losing money on one coin, why would I rotate into another coin? Well, first I would ask you, what was your initial buy thesis for that coin that you're in a loss for, right? If you can't articulate that to me, if you still don't have a buy thesis, or if that buy thesis has changed, right? I'm thinking, some examples of that may be XRP, right? The buy thesis may have changed since you've bought it, right? There's definitely some signs there of some major questions from a project standpoint. Or a meme coin, right? Where you came into crypto for the first time, you bought a meme coin, didn't really understand how a meme coin was different from Bitcoin. You are forgiven. That is stupid that you don't know that, right? But now that you're in crypto, okay, now I see. So maybe you're holding a meme coin for a loss and you're looking at HBAR, you're like, wow. But why would you still not buy HBAR, right? Because buying HBAR today is called chasing the bull, right? You don't want to do that. You want to make sure that you are buying low so that you can sell high. What is happening with HBAR is bullish, right? But the benefits are being reaped by those who bought HBAR low. If you buy it today, you are buying HBAR high. Now, could it go higher? It absolutely could. And that's why there is a maxim, buy high, sell higher, right? Which is kind of the next best counter argument to buy low, sell high, right? So obviously your money is yours. Your wealth is yours. You invest according to the way that you want to invest. If you want to sell for a loss in a coin and go buy HBAR, that's completely up to you, right? And that may even be a decent investment, a good rotation, right? But it just depends, right? It just depends on what you're holding, what your initial buy thesis was, and you need to question, why did you even have that coin on your balance sheet at all, in your portfolio at all, if you're going to be so quick to just dispense with that, take the loss, and flip into another coin as it's experiencing elevated price, right? You have to have a very strong justification for buying high, because the maxim is you buy low, you sell high. So if you're buying high, you're getting the first part wrong. Unless you think it's going higher, you're going to sell higher, right? So there's a lot to think about here. My overall encouragement is do not act emotionally just because you see price going up, right? You want to buy low, you want to sell high. Don't forget the simplicity of it. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at the Bitcoin price, because believe it or not, there's more to life than just HBAR. There's more in crypto than HBAR. So we'll take a look here at Bitcoin. I'm seeing Daisy Crypto Days says they have it. Quarter Crawler does not have HBAR. Oh. RDXRP1 said, well said. I appreciate that. I try, right? Blackie Chan says, never FOMO. ADA is next, says Daisy Crypto Days. What do you think, chat? Is ADA next? I don't know, especially from a BlackRock relationship standpoint, right? There's been some published information that maybe ADA is not next in terms of a BlackRock tap. However, it could be next out of a completely different narrative, right? Cryptoholic Love 35 said HBAR to $1. Wow. So some very bullish estimates for a coin that is not, it's not even 50 cents, right? What is HBAR? 12 cents, right? So it's exciting. But let's go ahead and jump on into the Bitcoin charts and let's take a look. Again, where is Tim? What the heck? Where is Tim? I love Tim. I love that bearded man. He is not here. He will be here in just a few minutes, but he was doing another show, and he wanted to just take as much time as he could with that show because he is absolutely loving it. So let's go ahead and jump on into the Bitcoin charts here, and let's dive in. As you can see, zooming out, I'm on the 4-hour, but zooming out, you can see we are now in a pretty well-established downtrending channel. Some of you are rolling your eyes. I know that, T-Shroom. I don't care. Everybody knows about we're in a downtrending channel now. Others of you are looking at my screen and you're like, whoa, what is all this alien lines, the red, the green, what does it all mean? You are in the right place. We strive to try to make content for everybody in the kaleidoscope of experience levels, whether you're a noob, whether you're hyper experienced and you trade every single day on the minute chart, right? We try to help you out and bring you some value. So for the noobs, what you're looking at are lines that you can draw that are corresponding to highs that were put in here and lows that are put in here, right? And this gives a trader information of what they might expect if they are to enter a trade, right? If you enter a trade, it's much more likely that you're going to stay within these bands, right? Within these channels, within this channel, and you can trade accordingly. And you can, most importantly, you can manage your risk in a much more predictable way. This is in contrast to what Bitcoin has been doing, which is just months of price discovery to the upside, right? Now, this movement here, this bit of trading data, is so different from this bit of trading data. And you can summarize it in that there's just a lot of, it's very condensed, right? It's accumulating, it's consolidating, right, in this channel. Versus here, price just got away from the bears, right? Bears meaning people who are anticipating the price of Bitcoin going down, right? So overall here, very different price movement periods, and now we are in a trader's paradise, I would call it, because here your risk is limited, right? Because within statistical probability, your risk is limited on average. All right, so that's a little bit for the beginners. Let's get into it for a little bit more experienced folks. I've got the Fibonacci overlay drawn on here, and so far Bitcoin has not been able to get up above that 67,343 level, which is marked by the beginning of the platinum pocket here, the lower band of the platinum pocket. So overall, this is what we want to get back up above 67.3, and we have not been able to do that yet. However, there are a lot of promising signs on the horizon, the biggest of which is that we have been able to get up above the midline of this channel that we are trading within, right? So folks are looking at that and they're saying, wow, that's bullish, right? The industry is looking at this and saying that is bullish. At least that's what I would be thinking. And then if we turn on the Bollinger Bands, we could potentially draw out some more conclusions. One of the things that I talked about this morning on the 9 a.m. stream, wait, the Investing Bros goes live at 9 a.m. too? We do. 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, baby. Be there or be square. But what I pointed out was, look how much time we spent without really getting into the space above the midline of the Bollinger Band, right? That orange line, right? That marks a downtrend, right? Not just because we're hitting lower lows and lower highs, but also because we never even got into a single candlestick print on the 4-hour above that midline of the Bollinger Band, much less the daily chart. Now we're seeing the opposite, right? So this might be somewhat obvious to you, but this is important, right? Because if we were to get a failure rejection here at the platinum pocket, the next question is, okay, well, how far are we going to go down, right? And then the answer, in my mind, would probably be to the midline of the Bollinger Band. And then if that fails, right, by the time we would finally get a rejection and a confirmation of rejection, probably be around 66,000 even, right? And that would bring us back to the midline of the Bollinger Band. And then beyond that, we would come back and test the 64.8 level that I find to be so interesting. All right. So that is going to be a little bit of TA for Bitcoin overall. Today and yesterday, we were basically right where we started. And it's going to take some time. It's going to take some bullish buildup right now to get up above this level, 67.3. But bulls are sitting here having the faith that we will get up above that, and it will be very, very nice once we do. So overall, things are looking pretty bullish, but there's still the question of, we're in a downtrend, So if this just continues to play out and we bonk our head up against this downtrending line of resistance, but we keep finding support on this downtrending line of support, well, eventually, if we zoom out to the weekly chart, eventually that we will just come all the way back down and retrace all of these gains, right? That's unlikely to happen, especially in a volatile asset like Bitcoin. But if you play this channel out right, eventually we would just come down, and eventually we would find ourselves down back at 37,000, right? So obviously that is not what I think is going to happen. It's very far from my base case. But the question does become, and we'll get off the weekly, go back down to the daily. The question does become, when do we break out of this? I'll turn off the big fib. When do we go ahead and break out of the channel? Well, when we're in a channel, I would make the argument that you could absolutely drill down to the lower levels and try to find, patterns that are starting to emerge that could potentially give you predictability of upside or downside. But I would say that when you're in a channel, the news starts to take over, right? Because here in this movement higher, where we saw a gigantic 86% upside in just a little over a month, right? That was the buy thesis was very strong and strongly intact. And that buy thesis was, holy crap, the SEC authorized a freaking spot Bitcoin ETF, right? And so the market just had no doubt in their mind, especially seeing day after day, week after week, record inflows coming into those spot Bitcoin ETFs, showing a voracious appetite from 401k holders and clients of BlackRock and Fidelity and other ETF issuers. There was just so high confidence, right, that Bitcoin price go up. Now, it's not that confidence has gone away. It's just that buy thesis has played out, right? So now the market needs a new buy thesis. Well, what happened just a couple days ago? The halving. Right, so now the new buy thesis really is the one that's always been there and will continue to be there, which is Bitcoin is better money, and you better get off zero, or else you're going to get left behind by runaway fiat inflation. But the new buy thesis is absolutely right. Things like HBAR, things like other cryptos taking off, and just general optimism and attention from investors and money managers coming back into crypto. Okay, another big buy thesis is what happened a couple days ago, the halving. And this is probably, if you're watching for the first time, what's brought you to this channel is you're interested in the halving, somebody told you about it, or you saw it on mainstream media, you typed in crypto on YouTube, and c'est la vie, here we are. C'est la vie, definitely not the right French term for that, but here we go. So whatever it is, the market is looking for a new buy thesis to get out of this channel. So that brings us to the news, which I was hoping that by now Tim would be here to join us for. Well, we've covered the HBAR news. We've talked about Bitcoin a little bit and how it's basically, range bound. I wouldn't call it boring because this is a trader's paradise. And after all, we are investing bros and we trade. We love to trade, right? So this is actually, in some sense where we thrive. One thing I will point out, now that the Bollinger Bands are up on the daily chart, is that we are really fighting on the daily chart. The battleground is the midline of the Bollinger Band, that 20-day moving average, right? And as you can see, historically, once we printed a candlestick above it just recently, right, that then, even if it was red, that then led to a pretty big move to the upside, where we were able to test the top line of the, or you could call it the top line of the channel. Oh, look, there's a good-looking guy. Tim, I'm gonna finish this thought, and we'll bring you on. So ultimately, now that we're seeing another candlestick start to print up above the midline of that Bollinger Band, that is bullish, and we could potentially anticipate, this is what bulls would be making the argument for from a TA standpoint. Now that we've got that candlestick print, now the day's not over, so if we don't get it, then the thesis changes. But if we can close above that, then we could get a pretty explosive move higher to go test this downtrending line of resistance. Tim, how the heck are you?
I'm doing great. I mean, what's even the purpose of me being here?
I don't know.
He's got the news. He's going to do the charts. Is there even a need for me anymore? I'll be a travel day-by-day salesman.
No, we need you, Tim. We need you more than ever.
It's been a busy day. I've got to go on Gary Cardone's channel this morning. It was a lot of fun getting to talk with Gary. I was just on with Josh. Always love being on with Josh. We did run a little later than we thought we would.
Just a little.
But I'm glad to be here with you guys. Tell me, guys, give me your grades. Give me if TA was a class and you guys were the teacher and T-Shroom was the student, how would you guys grade his TA so far? Having not seen it, I'm going to just guess A+.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
We'll see what people say.
Blackie Chan said T-Shroom has been killing it. And he also said, it's about time, Tim. It's about time. Wow.
I'm sorry. Yep. But I see a lot of people in chat saying Josh sent me here. If you guys came from Stocks with Josh, thank you so much for being in here. Hit that subscribe button. Smash the like. We do this daily. We talk mostly crypto. We'll dabble in stocks. Of course, Josh is going to probably talk stocks way more often than we do, but we'll go there from time to time. So it's good to have you guys in here and joining the bros community. T-Shroom, kind of fill me in. Where have we gotten so far? Did you get a quote of the day? Did we get a quote of the day today?
Oh, Tim, we did not. You need to source a quote of the day. Give me a quote of the day off the top of your head. Hit me with it.
Life is like a box of chocolates.
Okay.
You never know which one you're going to get.
I like
is that
it.
How the quote goes? Forrest Gump.
I think that's pretty close. That's pretty close.
That's good. I off the top of my head.
And what has that meant to you throughout your life?
I was about to make a joke, but I'll say seriously, like I like the quote because Listen, if your mood is going to be determined by outside circumstances, you're in for a world of disappointment. If other people and other things have to make you happy, you're going to be a pretty miserable person.
Come on.
But if you can derive your happiness and joy from within you, then you dictate what the world around you looks like. And ultimately, you don't get to choose what kind of day you have. You don't get to choose what life throws your way. It's always going to be different, like a box of chocolates. But
Wow.
you got to be ready for it and be prepared to put a positive spin on it.
And Tim, you know what we called that in my high school psychology class? Intrinsic motivation. Engage in a behavior because it is personally rewarding, not for an external reward. But I will say, the chocolate is pretty delicious. Now, Tim, is there anything that you'd like to share from any crypto price movements that you may want to try to show on your charts at all?
Yeah,
I mean,
you guys, if you guys have been watching my TA for a while, I know there's some new people in here, again, some Josh people, and I'll do the best to review some of the stuff. But the big one today has got to be HBAR. Did you already T-Shroom, did you already do HBAR TA at all?
I have done some just kind of covered the price movement. But if you want to give them maybe a price prediction or some lower levels that we could see in a retracement,
I don't know if I
favorable.
Yeah, I'll give you some lower levels because I don't know if I can put a cap on this. Obviously, the big news coming out with their partnership with BlackRock. This is the only altcoin doing this right now. In case you guys hadn't noticed, we have some meme coins that are up like 15, 20%, but HBAR, okay, A Cash or whatever, up 28%. So I go ahead and make a statement, and then A Cash discredits my statement. But this is news based. And when you look at the chart, this is the only altcoin that we see doing this, getting anywhere close to where we've been high during this bull market so far. Again, we're not at new all-time highs. We got a long time to go for HBAR before that happens, but we are close to setting new highs for this newest bull market. What I will say, let's take a look at potential retracements. And T-Shroom, I was playing around on LuxAlgo. Okay. You guys know our charts always brought you guys by LuxAlgo. We love LuxAlgo here, the best trading indicators out there. And I found something that I don't know why I don't use it more often, and it's on the price action concepts.
The Bollinger Bands?
The bull. No, it's not it. All right, let's go down here. It is this right here. Oh, show breakers. All right, so I'm gonna have these ones come on. Bullish ones are yellow, bearish ones are pink. You're gonna see a lot of yellow, not a lot of pink here recently. I'm gonna go. Let's go 4-hour chart for this one. All right, so you're gonna see a bunch of yellow pop up here. What does this yellow mean? This is actually pretty cool. What this yellow means is these were order blocks, meaning levels of high liquidations, lots of trading happening at this level that should have been some form of a rejection if it was above us, right? When we were down here, we really should have hesitated around 10 cents. And then we really should have hesitated right here around 11.9 cents, almost 12 cents. And this one, we're hovering right there. That's why it hasn't turned yellow yet. But ultimately, these are what's the exact name? Let me go back to it. Show breakers, meaning these are levels where there was a heavy amount of liquidity, but we blasted through them. And now these should be our main targets for pullbacks that keep a bullish structure. So whenever we're talking about, remember we say in bull markets or bull trends, you have higher highs and higher lows. Well, in this case, we're setting some highs here. Obviously, in this smallish trend on the 4-hour chart, we had a high right here around 8 cents and then another one around 9 cents. Now we just blasted through, and now we have a high currently around 13 cents. Look for these to be the pullback levels of where we're going to find some strong support. Why? Because we didn't take away the fact that there's still a lot of trading that wants to be done at those levels. We just blasted through it and didn't give it a lot of attention. So this is something you're going to see a lot more frequently. You're going to see in a bullish trend, these yellow lines are actually, when we're talking about where's that higher low pullback going to come in, we're looking at these breaker blocks. I was trying to look when I was doing this. I was trying to look for some coin, T-Shroom, that would give me pink ones, like the bearish ones, because technically everything right now is moving to the upside on these shorter time frames. And I had to go to the Dixie. The Dixie's actually the only one right now I can find a pink order block, a breaker block. And what this means right now, guys, is in a more bullish trend, we blasted through this level at 104. So for the Dixie to stay bullish, you could see a pullback down here to 104. But right now, we just fell back through a pretty strong order block at 105. So we could see a rally back up to 105, 0.50 cents, but get rejected right there. What this tells me, in a nutshell, if I short the Dixie, I'm shorting it when it gets back up here to 150. And then I might say, all right, when we hit 104, that might be a good spot to get out of my short, enter a long. Now we're talking about the Dixie right here, right, guys? So, that's just money flow in general. Depending on what you're trading, not everything's perfect. But when it comes to Bitcoin, again, HBAR, let me go back to HBAR. Where did my HBAR chart go? I just had it. Oh, there we go. Perfect. Now what I'm looking at is you're asking, Tim, where's the next place that we're going to potentially order longs? Let's get some confluence, but I'm liking 11 cents and 10 cents. Let's pull up the rest of what we have going on here. Guess what? We're overextended right now. Definitely could come back down here. This is the take profit for a long, by the way. That's how much we blasted through it. Easily could come correct back here. Let's take a look on that daily chart. Remember that level coming in right here. Back to the smart trail concept. Could be a very interesting level back down towards 10 cents. So that's kind of what I'm looking at. HBAR explosive. It's at 12 cents. If you're saying, dang it, I missed out, where's the next good buying spot? 10.6, 10.5 cents looking like a decent little spot to acquire some more HBAR. Because in case you didn't know, this is explosive news today, but it's not like their relationship only matters for today. If BlackRock is utilizing and in partnership with HBAR, HBAR just got a boost up the list of what we expect it to be. I haven't done a macro HBAR price prediction, but I can tell you right now, that number would go up if I had already given you one.
Now, Tim, when I opened the show, I was trying to impart a little bit of wisdom that far be it from me to claim the origination of, but just the perpetuation of some wisdom, which is if you're in a loss, right, of some coin that I'll just go ahead and say it, have high conviction in, you should not rotate out of that coin into HBAR, right? Because that is a invalidation of your own trading and portfolio management principles, right? Now, I would love to get what you think about that. And I will contrast that to if you have dry powder, I do think this is a decent time to get into HBAR, not financial advice. But compare and contrast those for me and tell me, do you agree?
Do I agree with not moving things out of other things into HBAR? If you're looking for a short-term profit, maybe not, because now we're probably seeing HBAR being a little overextended. But here, go to my chart here, T-Shroom. I want to show you why potentially you might want to shift some things. And you guys can see it barely right there. It's going to be a little bit behind my head. It was 30 or 29 earlier today, and it's jumped up now to 24. That's short-term. I don't know exactly. I haven't sat and done a price prediction for HBAR, but I'm gonna throw this out. Don't take the exact numbers I'm gonna give you right here, but take the idea of what I'm gonna say. I probably would have predicted HBAR could have become a top 20 coin by the time this bull market's said and done. Why is that significant? Because historically, we can take a look at the peaks of bull markets based off the ranking of the coin. You can get a decent idea of where the dominance is going to be of the total market cap. And then if we have 11 trillion as our total market cap, which is kind of the theory we utilize for our price predictions, you could kind of pinpoint and guess a range of where the price prediction should be. So if HBAR made it to 20, that would have given it a price prediction of, I don't know, let's call it $1. Let's call it $1. That's not the right one, but let's just say I said it was going to be $1 because it's going to be ranked number 20. This news, T-Shroom, does boost it to me to where I think this now would make it, and again, I have to do this analysis, but if I thought before it was going to be number 20, this news makes me think maybe number 15. And the market cap of the 15th ranked coin is going to be decently larger than the 20th. So that goes from me yesterday thinking, okay, HBAR is going to make it to $1 to now saying, oh, I think that now it makes it $1.20, $1.30. Now, I'm not making that exact call. In fact, I imagine if we're seeing it 12 right now, that's less than a 10x. I would say before today, I would have probably guessed a 15x, give or take. But now that I see a higher ranking to 15, I might be flirting more with a 20x, 25x on HBAR. So when you think about it that way, now you're asking the question, you're saying, all right, it might not make me the most money in the next week or the next 2 weeks, but we're not even close to really being in the most aggressive bullish part of the bull market. I might need to reassess. I might have too much near protocol, and I need to move some near protocol into HBAR. Or I might have too much Polygon, and I need to move some Polygon into HBAR. The only reason you need to be moving money into HBAR is if you reassess where you think the price prediction is going to be, and then you realize I need a heftier percentage of this in my portfolio. And because I need a heftier percentage of this, I need less of a percentage of another coin. So let me just go ahead and make that swap. I'm a little too heavy on Tron, or I'm a little too heavy on DAI, or I don't know what's in your portfolio, but you get my point here. You should be more bullish on HBAR after this news, and that should allocate your brain saying one way or another, whether I take dry powder of US dollars or I reallocate some of the other altcoins I have, I need to get HBAR higher in my percentage holding.
I like it. I like it. Well, Tim, that is a very good answer to a pretty complicated question, right? These are the difficult questions that you're going to be faced with as an investor, as a trader. But I have a request of everybody in chat. Let me know, drop a 1 in chat if you are coming in from the Stocks with Josh community. Tim obviously was just on the Stocks with Josh YouTube channel, had a lot of fun over there. Drop a 1 in chat if you are coming over and have heard about the Investing Bros because of that channel. Just drop a 1 right on in the chat, and that'll be great.
Boom. Yeah.
Tim, how was the stream over there? Did you guys have some fun?
A lot of fun. I always love getting to talk with Josh. Josh is very, very good at TA. Very solid thinker. He's made some great calls himself. I really love getting to go on his channel. Maybe sometime we can get him to come on our channel. And who knows in the future, because in certain seasons, we'll probably go more heavy in the stock world when crypto's not got a lot to talk about. So, I love that whole community. Love Josh. And I don't know how much longer, but for this point, I think for the foreseeable future, I'll be on there on Tuesdays. So all of the Stocks with Josh community, thank you so much for being over here. Hit subscribe button. Don't miss anything we put out here, but also you should be seeing me on Tuesdays over there for a little bit. All of the Investing Bros community, if you guys want any information about stocks, Josh is a solid bed of information, makes some great calls. We had some great conversations. Go subscribe to Stocks with Josh. He just eclipsed 100,000 subscribers. We're gonna get him and I talked about it before the stream. We're gonna set a bar. We're gonna give ourselves 30. I don't think we talked about it on his stream. 30 days. Josh and I decided we got 30 days to hit 20,000 subscribers here on Investing Bros. Help us get that done. Smash likes, comment down below, hit subscribe on your main channel. Maybe if you have a backup channel, hit subscribe there as well. And then the other one, I've seen a lot of people do it this last month. You guys know you can share YouTube videos and share pages. Hit the share button. Share with everybody you know. Let's get Investing Bros up to 20,000 here in 30 days. That's our timeline. But a lot of ones in chat. So shout out to all of you guys. Thank you so much for being here.
I love it. Well, Tim, I'm feeling pretty good about jumping on in to the news. How does that sound to you?
Absolutely. That sounds amazing thought, T-shirt.
Awesome. Well, I'm glad that you had some fun over there with Stocks with Josh. For those of you just tuning in, this is the headline that kind of sent HBAR higher. Today we witness RWA history as BlackRock's ICS U.S. Treasury Market Fund is tokenized by Hedera and others, marking a major milestone in asset management by bringing the world's largest asset manager on chain. And I kind of said, if you didn't think that BlackRock was leading the way for TradFi and crypto, now you can't say anything because this is absolutely, it's happening. We're here, and HBAR holders are loving every minute of it. Now we have the statement walk back here by Standard Chartered. Ether ETFs are unlikely to be approved in May. Not a shock to the Investing Bros. We've been predicting that since, February? But the bank has walked back their statements here. Digital assets have endured a perfect storm of negative headwinds in recent weeks, yet the worst is over, and the market is well positioned to recover, Standard Chartered said in a research report on Tuesday. Bitcoin exchange-traded fund inflows have stalled, and Ether ETFs now look unlikely to be approved in May as expected, analyst Geoff Kendrick wrote. I like that name. The analyst had previously said that the Ether Spot ETF would likely gain approval on May 23rd, according to the March 18th report. That is the statement that they are clarifying was wrong, according to them. Of course, we haven't had that result quite yet, but I believe the betting markets are still predicting that we will not get that ETF for Ethereum spot by the predicted time of May 23rd. Still, the bank says that the bad news is already priced in for Bitcoin and Ether, and positive structural drivers are expected to take over again. The company reiterated its end-of-year Bitcoin price target of $150,000 $150,000, and its Ether forecast of $8,000. Bitcoin was trading around 66, and Ether was trading around 3 at the publication time. So very exciting news there. Standard Chartered got it wrong, and they're having to walk it back. Do you think there's a chance that their Bitcoin price target of $150,000 per coin is wrong, and they'll have to walk that back by the end of the year?
Let's walk it back. I mean, it's a little low, I think. It's not crazy. There's a lot of people that had the camp of 175. We're a little higher with the average of somewhere in that 200 to 210, maybe 220 range. Ultimately, if the price goes to 170, they're gonna have to say, yeah, we were wrong. Definitely if it goes to 200 or so, but they're just trying to do the best they can to be. They don't want to be over. Like, I guess the best way to put it is it's better to predict below the top because at least you took profit than to be the person who says we're going to 300,000 and then we only make it like 220 and you're sitting there left not selling and taking profit on your bags, and then before you know it, Bitcoin's back down to 100K and it's like, oh crap, I missed out on my chance to take profit. If you want to take profit, I mean, depending on who you are as a person.
Absolutely. Well, yeah, and I tend to agree. I think that 150 is a conservative, 150,000 is a conservative price prediction for Bitcoin by end of year, and certainly going into 2025, I think that we'll see a much higher Bitcoin. Polymarket, by the way, on the subject of Ethereum spot ETF, Polymarket has actually had a drastic reduction, so almost close to 10% chance, meaning an almost 90% chance that it would not happen, that an Ethereum approved by May 31st. So there you go. That seems to be
there's just not enough time. There's just let's say today they started being like, all right, fine, let's get this thing done. There's just a lot that goes into the legalese of what happened. So I think, in the poll in chat, everyone go vote in the poll in chat. I'm definitely a yes, it will happen. I guess the poll is a weird question. It says Ethereum ETF be approved in 2024. Yes, it's just a matter of time. No, SEC will crack down this time. I think it's almost like, yes, it's just a matter of time. I agree that it will be done before 2024, but I would understand people saying, it might leak into 2025 because, it's the SEC. They don't do anything fast. They did just get a nice slap on the wrist in recent days, so that's a positive sign. But these things, even once they set their mind to the answer is yes, it's not a flip the switch overnight, we can get the approval done. It's a long, drawn-out process that, it's just not going to happen quickly. So it's almost like, to me, May is just too early, even if the positivity started today.
Yeah.
Give it like 60 days once we see positivity at least.
Yep, and I really like this from Joe Bro. He said, not going to see ETF until after elections. That's a pretty good, kind of political angle on a crypto question. I like that. I think that's probably pretty close to being true. Well, before we get into the next story here, Tim, we got a question from Saeed Ref. He said, I'm trying to start trading crypto in the U.S., but it seems I need a legit way to do it. Tim, could you help us out here?
Well, there's a couple of options that you have, but we have a partnership right now with Blofin. We might be partnering with some other exchanges too moving forward, give you guys some options. But as it stands right now, Blofin is not only a way to support the channel, but it is a way. I think there's 1 or 2 states where their IP or their license doesn't work. Ultimately, I mean, there are ways to do other things to get around that. But most states here in the U.S., you can do it. There's no KYC needed whatsoever. You can leverage trade today. I want to caution everybody, just because you can leverage trade, just because you use Blofin, don't go throwing up a bunch of 30x, 40x, 50x until you've got a lot of success and you're really good at calling the right directions with minimal pullbacks. You want to be conservative. It's a lot better to trade with 2x, 3x. I kind of get up to 5x sometimes. Every now and then I'll go crazy and go 10x. But to me, 10x is like, all right, let's calm down a little bit here, guys, right? A lot of my trading leverage, I keep around 5x. Blofin, obviously, you can do a lot higher than that. Trade responsibly. But here in the U.S., you can use Blofin. And on an off topic, for no reason, we're going to talk about this together for legal purposes. If you want to protect your data, use a VPN. and go get NordVPN. There's a link down below. That's another way to support the channel and protect your IP, protect your data. I actually, even jokes aside, everybody in crypto has some stuff on their computer that if that information were to get leaked could be bad. VPNs to protect your information and protect where you are from hackers and other outside sources is just a very wise thing to do. Go ahead and sign up with VPN today, NordVPN. Protect yourself and your IP. And trade with Blofin if you want to trade here in the US.
And speaking of Blofin too, I characterize this channel that we're in now, right, which is a contrast from just the insane face melting move higher of upside price discovery. Now we're in a channel. I describe this channel as kind of a trader's paradise, right? Because it's much more predictable, the limits of upside and downside potential. So if you are thinking, man, this is really a time where I can apply my experience in trading to take a little bit of a leverage position and get paid a little more than I usually would just from spot trading, head on over to our link in the description. You've got a lot of different links here, but the Blofin one is right here. It's under our exchange partners, and if it asks for a code, the code is just BROZ. This is the leverage trading that I use as well, platform. So definitely look no further than Blofin, and there's a link in the description of this very video that you were watching, and it's a lot of fun. Let's get into this next story here. This one's going to be, you may be wondering about some other coins that are popping off today. Pepe being one of them, kind of leading the charge here on some of the meme coins. It is in the lead. Dog with Hat up 6%, Bonk up 13.8%, Floki up 13.7%. The memes are having a nice day, but Pepe is leading the charge here, up 15%, and that is because of this. Coinbase launches Pepe Perpetual Futures, expanding trading options. So not going to read too much into this. This just is what it is. It wasn't the fact yesterday. Now it is the fact. So that is really good for Pepe. We've got a funny story here, but before we get into it, there's actually been a development over in the Polkadot world. So Polkadot, chain that we like to keep up with quite a bit here. The week in Polkadot, Gavin Woods unveils major upgrade Jam at token 2049. The Web3 Foundation has a $10 million dot prize pool to foster development of the Jam protocol, which aims to replace Polkadot's Relay chain. So this is a pretty big development for the Polkadot ecosystem. At the Token 2049 conference in Dubai this week, Polkadot co-founder Gavin Wood introduced a gray paper. A gray paper, of course, I had never heard of this term gray paper before, so I had to click through. It looks a little bit like this. It's a 58-page document, which freezes up my computer if I click it because it's so in-depth. They've clearly thought through this new implementation of technology. But it's exciting. It's exciting. It's a gray paper outlining the join, accumulate, machine, jam, build as a proposal for the future of Polkadot. In a major revision, the Jam protocol would replace Polkadot's Relay chain with a more modular, minimalistic design, lightweight, building a permissionless object environment akin to Ethereum's smart contract environment. Jam will allow Polkadot to run generic services, smart contract logic, which can process the result of execution on cores. Polkadot founding organization, the Web3 Foundation, explained in a statement. So $10 million worth of DOT is being made available for folks to go and develop in this new Jam protocol. It's very, very exciting stuff. And it's something that Polkadot, definitely one of the ones that we follow pretty closely. You guys can find them on Twitter. You can, check out and do more research on Polkadot. And generally, it's something to be bullish about. Tim, have you been seeing anything on the charts for Polkadot at all?
Yeah, remember we said earlier there's not a lot of pink. I found a pink block on Polkadot. Let's take a look here. Now,
that's on
today,
brand.
I'm going to show you guys the pink here in a second. Today we did yesterday we flashed a buy order here on Polkadot with a take profit in that smart share concept coming in back at $8.76. Keep an eye on that. But as I said earlier, these breaker blocks. So this is a situation where when we were crashing a little bit earlier here in April, we just blasted right through this order block. So again, that's a breaker block. This isn't 100%. I don't want to make people think like, oh, well, we have to sell right here. But it is interesting that this is a level of high liquidity that we were supposed to kind of bounce on it here before. We didn't. We slashed through it like a hot knife through butter.
Nice.
Sometimes I say a water gun through toilet paper, but hot knife through butter, and now we're back up at it. So it'll be interesting. Do we get maybe a small correction and come back down before blasting back through it? Is this are we using this to kind of get rid of all the liquidations in that level? I want to keep an eye on that one. Let's see what the oscillators are saying, though. Some positivity, bullish cross on MACD. We're getting back to overextended, but still some room on the stochastics RSI. And when it comes to Lux Algo's oscillator, it's still below that bearish trend, the bearish trend assistant. But we had the reversal triangle, the bullish momentum, and that money flow is about to cross above the bearish threshold. That could be, again, on the daily chart, a little trigger to enter a long right there. 4-hour chart, it's been bullish here. So you could have entered a long way back here on the 18th, give or take, and that would have been not that bad of a call. You would have gotten in down here at 670. You could have ridden this up to 750, give or take. But it looks like we still have a little more room to the upside as a whole. So it'll be interesting to see if this breaker block just gets exhausted and then broken back through. We'll keep you guys paid on that one. I'm going to be giving, just so you guys also know, giving you an update. I think tonight we have a video going out on BitTensor. Ooh, look at that.
Tonight? No, it's not going out tonight. Oh, it is going out tonight. I'm getting all my videos confused.
Yeah, all your videos confused.
That's going to be exciting.
BitTensor tonight. We do need to get a title for it and a thumbnail thought through. So if you guys have suggestions for that, what you want to see, but show that video some love. And then later this week, I'm going to be putting out a Polkadot price prediction video. So if you guys are big supporters of Polkadot, you guys love it, you want to know how high you can get this bull market, just wait. We're going to be putting that out. Put out an Ethereum price prediction last night. Go show that video some love. A Bitcoin price prediction last weekend. We're going to be giving you a lot of predictions. And everyone in our trading VIP group, they already see a lot of my numbers. I haven't given my Polkadot number yet. But if you're sitting here saying, I don't want to wait for these videos to come out, I want to know what Tim thinks now. When you purchase Lux Algo with our link, and then you go into our Discord and show me a proof of purchase under VIP trading, you will get access to our VIP trading group where I give you guys my thoughts throughout the day. I give you feedback on your trades. I'm not here to give you financial advice, but I am here to help continue to help you guys get better at trading. You also get access to my list of price predictions and breakdowns of where I think things are going. So more incentive to go buy Lux Algo today.
I love it. All right, Tim, we've got our factoid and we've got kind of a fun story here. Let's get into it. The fun story is this. You know her, you love her. She's Janet Yellen, and she's on my screen. She has very, very little to do with the story here other than when she was speaking in front of Congress or the Senate. I'm not sure who it was. Kind of don't care. The point is that somebody had a sign behind her that's buy Bitcoin. Yeah. Well, buy Bitcoin note linked to Yellen hits 2.2 Bitcoin in auction. And Tim, you can actually go look for yourself and make a bid. On here, you can add a bit amount in sats. And right now it is indeed almost $147,000 bid for this notebook. But it doesn't stop there. If you were to buy this notebook, you also get the reference image.
But wait, there's more.
You get this awesome image of this handsome man here holding the
Michael Jackson gloves.
Yeah. Right. And then again, and then this is what it looks like. And okay,
do you get the whole notepad with all the other notes on that notepad, or do they rip those out?
That's what I was trying to get to. I think the original person signed it, and then there's some other notes in there that are really, really cool. So don't wait another minute. If you want to go ahead and buy this awesome image, go ahead and do that. And it only costs $150,000.
That's just a bid. That's just the next bid. You might get outbid. So
yeah, there's a day and some change remaining on that one. So man, you know what? That was our fun story, and I think it was fun.
Let's do our factoid of the day here, T-Shrooms.
Factoid of the day. Well, the factoid of the day is brought to you by who we trust, and that is iTrust Capital, where you can buy and sell crypto, gold, and silver in a tax-advantaged account. You know and love them as Roth IRAs. If you are in the United States and you're trading or investing in crypto, you really want to get it in a tax-advantaged IRA or Roth IRA, and you can do it through who we trust, iTrust Capital. Tim, in 1954, the gavel that had been used in the U.S. Senate since at least 1834 broke when which man used it during a heated debate? Was it Storm Thurmond, Dwight D. Eisenhower, Harry S. Truman, or was it Old Dick Nixon?
Wait, let me read this question. Had been used in Senate since 1834. Because I was sitting here saying, I don't know, I can't remember where Storm Thurmond, which I'm assuming that's Storm, not Strom Thurmond. I don't know, maybe that's a typo. The other three are definitely not in 1830, but it was the same gavel used since then.
Correct. That is correct.
Did this gavel at any point, T-Shroom, make it to Wall Street to signal the beginning or ending of the day?
See, now that is a question I cannot answer, nor confirm nor deny.
In 1954, this gavel had been used in Senate since 54. Let's go.
And Matt C is correcting you. He said it's Strom, not Storm. So
it is Strom. Okay, good. I'm just making sure. Matt C really wants me to say A. He really wants me to say A. And the fact that he knew it was Strom, not Storm, makes me think he's onto something. I was leaning towards B. Joe Bro thinks B as well. So now it comes down to the friendship I have with Matt. Will we still be friends if I go B? Or should I just trust Matt as my good friend and go A? You know what? Go Bruins for the day. We're going to go A, Strom Thurmond. I'm going to trust my good friend Matt C. Sorry, Joe Bro. Got to stick with Matt on this one.
It's Dick Nixon. Neither were correct.
Neither of them were correct. And
in 1954.
Wait, real quick. Screw the Bruins. The Bruins led me astray. Go Hokies.
Yeah, because it's always about football, Tim.
It is. If you don't know anything, it's always about football.
The gavel that had been used in 1834, and also you cannot prove that it wasn't possibly used since 1789, which you can say about literally anything. You can't prove that I can't say that about anything. Broke when Vice President Dick Nixon used it during a heated debate on none other than nuclear energy, all the way back in 1954, despite an addition of silver plates to strengthen it 2 years prior. So old Dick Nixon, he was so strong that he broke it, right? And just imagine doing that. That must have been pretty crazy. There was a whole bunch of other scandals too, because it was made out of ivory. There were ivory elements, which of course became banned, and you couldn't procure them anymore because of the elephant poachers and the illegal ivory trade. So it's almost like the United States have a rich and storied past, and we like to keep you all up to date on these things that, of course, are just.
And we all know that when you break gavels, it's a leading indicator that someday you might try to break into political offices and steal information as well. So, don't break gavels. Well, T-Shroom, thank you for that factoid of the day. Thank you, Richard. I'm going to call you Richard rather than the alternative. Let's get into some Q&A with people. Again, I missed the large part of the show in the beginning, but again, it was for a good cause. Going over there with Stocks with Josh. By the way, Stocks with Josh, the reason why it was at this time, he's on vacation, but this guy's such a beast. Even though he's on vacation, he's like, the show must go on, but I want to preserve some time with my wife. So that's why the show was a little early and then ran just a little long because it was just such a great conversation. Next week, I think it'll be back to being after the show. I don't know. I'll keep you guys posted. But
keep us posted, Tim.
Love being on with Josh. What's your guys' questions? What do we want to talk about? What charts do you guys want to look at? Yellow yup candles says invert cup and handle.
We also had a super chat.
We did.
With new info, you like Render or HBAR more? From Morgan Powell.
Okay, so again, I need to look more into HBAR because I hadn't put thought into HBAR of how high I thought it would get. With HBAR currently sitting at 24 and Render currently sitting at 31, and the fact that I think that they'll probably be close to each other when all the rankings are said and done, I think I'm still going to lean Render at this point. But if you'd asked me that question this morning or yesterday, I probably would have said, like, oh, Render far and beyond. This recent news probably puts HBAR closer than it would have been earlier. But I think I'm going to still lean Render on this one. But we'll see. We shall see.
Okay.
Yellow yup candles, invert cup and handle on what? I don't know what you would be. Well, because he said invert on Bitcoin, you could make an argument that a move down to 48K, if that were to happen, which I don't necessarily think it will, but if we did make the chart come down and do this and go down here and hit this and then bounce back up and go up, that would be a regular cup and handle. with a nice little cup here, nice little handle. Not a very big handle. Usually these handles are a lot deeper. So I don't even really like that as it stands. But that's definitely not an inverse cup and handle, at least on the macro. And I'm looking at the micro. I don't necessarily see it on the micro. Oh, maybe no. See, all right. So if people think this is it, I don't think so. This W, I would call this a W pattern, not a cup and handle. If he's thinking this is what the inverse cup and handle looks like, no, I don't think that's how that plays out. That middle part kind of broke that up.
You got to remember the trade psychology has to be there. I think you could make an argument for it being a cup and handle, but the average, like when I opened that up and looked at it, when Tim opened it up and looked at it, that was not a thought that crossed our mind. Now, could there be some small percentage of traders that open up a chart and think inverse cup and handle? Yeah, but that's not going to be the self-fulfilling prophecy. That's not going to be the emergent psychological phenomenon that is a large market.
Here's one that's in your neck of the woods, T-shirt. You spend way more time looking at miners. Peter, which I'm sensing a level of interesting details to that name. But I'm going to say what he has here because I'm going to respect him.
Sorry,
in case
that one
that's
got
a
me.
genuine birth-given name. I doubt it is. Any thoughts on Mara and Riot? Matt C kind of chiming in saying still prefers Clean Spark. And I tend to potentially agree with that, but I'm not I have not been following mining charts as much as you have. What are your thoughts about Mara and Riot? Are those two that are strong in your case, or you think those are two that could lose with this recent halving event? Could they lose some steam to Clean Spark? Talk about the three of them. Rank them. Show them your love. Show them your hate.
Okay.
Make it pretty. Tie it a bow. I'm just drawing out my question as long as possible to make you uncomfortable, by the way.
Well, you've done your work. And then some, because I'm extremely, extremely uncomfortable. Someone who is very comfortable at talking about this very subject is our friend over at Rex Finance. I collaborated him with many years ago. He is a huge, huge proponent of Clean Spark. He does a lot of videos about it. And he's also very bearish on Marathon and other miners. Ultimately, the crypto world, the stock market world is very big. You're going to find people who are going to be able to make arguments for both. I personally am all in on Clean Spark. I don't own any other miners. Are other miners going to do well? I think in the bull market, all my Bitcoin miners are going to do well because when the retail investors come in, they're going to be indiscriminate with their investment. They're just going to buy whatever they think is underpriced, right, and underbought. And so, I think in the bull market context, all of these Bitcoin mining stocks are going to do well, less a gray swan or some kind of catastrophe that happens within one of the companies. I think overall, though, Clean Spark, based on the information that I've gotten from people like Matt C and Invest Answers and my buddy over here at Rex Finance, who's really done the deep dive into all the different SEC filings for Clean Spark and other Bitcoin mining companies. And it seems like the conclusion is the same. Clean Spark is good. It's the best, but the other ones are probably not bad. It's just they're not the best. I am not the authority. I don't claim to be the authority on Bitcoin mining stocks, but it's the only one I hold is Clean Spark.
Interesting. I'll say this. I'll finish that one up. Another thing that'll help miners as a whole is as long as these numbers stay high. If you go to my screen here, T-Shroom, this is Bitcoin average transaction fees, which hit an all-time high here, up above 100, went to 100 and what is that? 128. Still at 24, higher than the normal average. But if that stays high, that's good for miners as well. So we'll keep an eye on that one. Blackie Chan says, "Can we hear Tim's thoughts on Tesla?" We absolutely could. Speaking of Blackie Chan, though, again, we had a trade on Saturday, a community trade.
We did.
That he donated his winning of $100, which we have to give another $100 away because we had 14,000 subscribers over last night. We'll deal with that tomorrow, though. That sprung upon us, and we're not really ready for it. Do you guys remember we decided we were going to trade Ondo? T-shirt, you remember this? We're going to trade $100 on Ondo.
Right.
Do you guys want to see how stinking close we got to the entry point? Look at this, guys. Look at this.
Oh, that's right. You tweeted about this today.
Look at this. We talked about this. I don't think I tweeted it. I think I put it on the community stream, but I didn't want to enter. When the trade was going, we were somewhere right in here, somewhere up here, hovering around 78 cents. And I said, let's get a pullback. There's a nice order block here on the 4-hour chart at about 75 cents. Let's wait for 75 cents. Sure enough, it rallied. It pulled back just like we thought it would. And it's not over. We could pull back again, but look at how close. Look how close we got to our entry, and we missed it. Got down to 76 cents. Sucks. But Blackie Chan, we're gonna keep active in that. If that trade never triggers or I don't like it anymore, that's not like we're not gonna do the trade. We're just gonna redo the community trade and give that away to somebody else. Moving to Tesla. This is a good one I want to take a look at. This is one I was looking at with Josh last week. We didn't get to spend a lot of time with it today. It was kind of a rush day. We had a lot of topics, but we're sitting in a spot right now on Tesla where we called a pullback this far. Let's turn off Lux for just a second. There was a big gap that was set way back in January that we tested the top of again in April of 23. Okay, by the way, gap set January of 2023, not January of 2024. We tested in April of 2023, but now we have officially filled that gap. So that's a sign right there, positivity right there on Tesla. You're like, all right, good, pull back there. But could we go even lower? Well, ALGO seems to like how far we've come down. We hit our take profit. We've even gotten aggressive with the take profit. We're in that green support band. Let's pull up our oscillators. Stochastic RSI, down low, ready to come back to the upside. We flashed 100% oversold. It's coming back up, but we flashed it. MACD is technically negative, but we have a pink histogram signaling a turn there. We're still negative in money flow, but you can see at a green reversal dot, we're low on the ALGO oscillator, and that money flow slowly curving. So it's not time just yet to be overtly bullish, but we are seeing the signs slow down of the excessive bearishness. And then take a look here. I told you guys there wasn't a lot of pink. Here's a pink daily chart, pink order block breaker where we just crashed through an order block and didn't kind of retest it at all. This is saying we could stay bearish even if we bounced back up and hit 231 and maintain a bearish trend. But in case you're looking at a trade there, that's a pretty decent sized trade on Tesla to get back up there. That'd be a 58% rally before we retest that order block that still has a heavy amount of liquidity. And in this case, it's a heavy amount of liquidity that's been tested and just not exhausted. So that's why that one gets some significance. We have some order blocks above us. We have a smart trail on the daily chart above us. Watch out for 177, then watch out again at 204. But I'm going to be keeping my eyes in the next couple of months on the 232 level. Can we get back up and get rid of that liquidity and keep going, or do we reject on that one as well? I don't know. I don't really see us hitting that and then going lower. I think we're going to make our low moves. We're already so overextended to the downside. I think Tesla's one that when we finally reverse go to the upside, we'll probably see sustained bullishness as a whole on this chart. But that's my Tesla thoughts. Before we leave, weekly chart. Yeah, we hit our take profits and massive order block on our weekly as well. Now that turned it pink as well. This is when I think you just come up and fill it. That's not a big deal to me. When you see the weekly chart have its take profit hit, that should give you a good feeling about a reversal coming to the trend. Not 100%, but a good feeling.
Now, what? No, the post market is pumping. Tesla closed at 144. The post market is up to 152.
Go to your chart. I'm not looking at that chart.
No, I'm looking at your chart. I am looking at your chart. You can see it. The post market is just up. No, it's up. You see what I'm saying?
You're saying?
Look at the blue. Look at the blue quotes on the right hand price panel.
Okay. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh. Would you look at that, boys and girls?
Oh, and that has absolutely
100%
to do with the fact that Tesla just posted earnings. Tesla Q1 earnings came out of Tesla. Double miss. Tesla Q1 revenue 21.3 billion, estimated 21.4. Ooh, just missed, just shy. And then their EPS 0.45. Wow. The estimate was 5.6. Not close. That's a miss by a long shot there. So not good for Tesla. But another thing here, interesting. Just 4 minutes ago from Watcher.Guru, Tesla reveals none of their $711 million worth of Bitcoin was sold. So none of it was sold, just to be clear, in Q1. So that's good. Tim, I posted this morning. Or was it last night? I posted, something tells me an irrational and illogical allocation into Tesla might end up being a good idea very soon.
I saw that post, yeah.
And I think that I'm going to reiterate that. I'm going to double down. I think it's true. Right now, the bears are just too comfortable in their bearishness on Tesla. It just seems like they're having a feast of bearishness over there, just betting against the stock that has outperformed so many other stocks and EVs on the market. So I'm not entering quite yet. If I do, it's going to be a very small nibble. But I do want to go ahead and stake my claim to Tesla at these levels because
that is interesting that you said that as a whole they missed a lot of their numbers, and yet it is jumping. It's back up at 153
and
on that post.
That's just I think that's just Wall Street jitters.
It could ultimately just be as simple as people are looking at this chart and just, even if you don't have Lux Algo, although Lux Algo makes it nice and clean, this is just a chart that is drastically overextended to the downside. Was this the golden pocket? There's a little lower than golden pocket. If I'm just using, traditional TA would say right there, golden pocket. We got down right at / a little below the golden pocket. There's probably a lot of people just looking at charts and saying, all right, Tesla, it's not been great, but it's ultimately very overextended. And even charts that are bearish have dead cat bounces, like you saw several times on this Tesla chart. So once again, I think I said earlier, like, it's not one that I'm going to necessarily predict has massive bullish gains, but could we maybe make it back up here to 228 just as a bounce and then reject again? Absolutely, you could.
I like it. Well, overall, I'm looking to nibble on Tesla. Again, I'm not there yet, but I think this week might be the week that we do see the bottom. And for Tesla, I just don't know how it's going to get any worse, right? With a double miss on earnings, I think
more people sell than buy T-shirt.
I hadn't thought of that, and that's a really, really good point, Tim.
I was just trying to help,
and if Virginia Tech, if they can get more points than the other team in all of the games this season, they're going to be really, really successful in their season.
When we're throwing shots at each other, you leave the kids out of this. You leave those 18 to 22-year-olds out of this.
That's funny.
That's where it crosses lines.
Sometimes you never stop surprising me, Tim.
Nice.
We're having fun.
Well, it's been a great show. I've only been here for half of it, but it's been very, very okay. Username, can we? All right, we might need to time him out, even though he's a member. When you say hurtful things like that, that is just uncalled for, and is why we're going to wrap up the show right now because of Username. I'm just kidding. Username, go buy some link. The rest of you guys, love you. Thank you for being here. Hit the like button. Hit subscribe. Comment below. If you're from Josh, thank you for being here. We love you guys. We'll be back tomorrow, same time, same place. With that said, you guys have a great day. Adi.
Oh.
Trying to make paper, turn that better to cake. Money like Lego, connect the dots, stack bank. We are investing bros. We are investing bros. Army pipe, lethal on trade. Entries and exits, worthy of praise. Tim, the professor of the TA. Shout it out loud on the PA. T-Shrooms News got the word. Doing better than what he deserves. Beamer, leave no evidence. Soon fly coop with his dividend. Trying to make paper, turn that better to cake. Money like Lego, connect the dots, stack bank. We are investing bros. We are investing bros.